We've been preparing for this wonderful retreat, and we've been learning with each other and really enjoy the energy that gets together when the three of us get together. So we hope you will too. We're going to be sharing experiential practices that you can use in your life to increase your bonds with animal companions or the wildlife living around you. So, I don't know, who are you thinking of? Who lives in your habitat when I say animals and wildlife living around you? We're rooting these experiences within a broad category of what we're calling animal mindfulness. So what that means, just in a little snippet, in a nutshell, a squirrel might say, it means to tune our awareness into the experience of the present moment and notice what our senses engage with. Research suggests that mindfulness activities like these are not only useful for our own health. Well, the center of the universe, of course, runs right through our foreheads as humans, but it's not only for our own health, but also it can have impacts on the animals around us. For example, if you live with a skittish cat, who lives with a skittish cat? I do. Or you live with an energetic dog. Who lives with an, yeah. Who lives with an energetic dog? That mindfulness activities may help them feel safe, in the case of the skittish cat, or balance their energy, in the case of the energetic dog. So you can see where we're going here. Mindfulness activities also can bring us into better alignment with our habitat so that we can see the beauty of those habitats and the challenges of those habitats. And we can make the spaces that we live in healthier too. And finally, what's really interesting is that research also tells us that the areas of our brain that are active during practices like mindfulness and meditation and deep chanting and prayer, or whatever the thing you do is, those parts of the brain that light up for us are parts of the brain that other animals also have. Not all of them, but some of them. And so that opens the door wide open that animals may also have spiritual experiences. We know they have interior lives, right? So might they have the same interest in mindfulness or meditation? I can't tell you for sure, but in my house, it seems to have an impact. So let me introduce you to Judy first. Judy Ramsey is a shamanic teacher, professional animal communicator, an animal chaplain, and an interspecies counselor. Judy, can you share a little bit more about your approach to animal mindfulness?
Sure. I'm bringing the shamanic aspect to our efforts here and at Omega. It's a practice which addresses the spiritual aspects of living and healing. The practice is strongly rooted in nature and in its relationship with the natural world. We see the spirit in everything, from rocks and trees to animals, the elements, and ourselves, as the same spirit, as working within a web that's in a balanced connection with each other and the planet. When I communicate with animals, for example, it's from within that connection, and that's what I do. Amanda is an instructor of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda, as well as an animal chaplain. In her work, she combines these diverse modalities to nurture the physical, emotional, and energetic well-being of animals and humans alike. Amanda, can you tell us more about how you do this?
Yes, absolutely. I will bring forward the Ayurvedic piece, as Judy said, and Ayurveda, for those that might not know, is the sister science to yoga and meditation. It is rooted in India, from India, the healing system and the wellness system, the mind-body wellness system. So after practicing this and sharing it with so many people, human beings, over 20 years, I started to see the ways that the practices, the principles absolutely apply to the animals around us and the animals beyond us, whether they're in our home or out around this beautiful planet. And so I became very inspired to create that offering for the world, to be able to share those teachings so that it applies to their entire life all the way to the end and beyond, with the animal chaplaincy that I've now studied. And so I can really help support that beautiful spiritual connection throughout our whole existence for the humans and the animals. So I would like to then introduce the wonderful Reverend Sarah Bowen, who is an animal chaplain educator, a columnist for Spirituality and Health magazine, and the author of Sacred Send-Offs. Oh my gosh, such a great book. Everyone needs to have that. An animal chaplain, animal chaplain's advice for surviving animal loss, making life meaningful and healing the planet. That's the tagline of her fabulous book, Sacred Send-Offs. So, Sarah, will you share with us a little bit more about what animal chaplains do and what they are?
Sure. Animal chaplains work with interspecies issues. We live in this world. We are 0.01% of life on the planet. Yes, folks, 0.01%. And so 99.99% of the planet is other than human. And there are issues that come up between us. There are great relationships and there are challenging relationships. So an animal chaplain helps with animals and the humans who care for them or love them or are in conflict with them, quite honestly. Our work includes teaching practices that help bond animals and humans or help an animal's well-being, right? Whether they're thriving or they're ill or they're at the end of life. It also helps assisting people in making decisions about the end of an animal's life and being there to help animals transition to what I like to call whatever is next. We also help people through the grief that occurs after transition. Anyone ever had grief over animal loss? No, I have. And it can be tough. So we help with the transition and we help with memorials and helping people through grief. And we also help people who work in animal care professions. So if you are a veterinarian or a shelter worker, an animal sanctuary staff, conservationist, an activist for animals in the earth, those jobs and volunteer positions come with a lot of stress. And so we help those folks too. So we get involved anywhere where humans and animals are interacting and try to lend our support. All right, so that's who we are, folks. That's who Judy, Amanda, and Sarah are. If you find these kind of practices useful, June 23rd through 28th, we'll be at the Omega Institute for Holistic Studies in upstate New York, well, not quite upstate, in the Hudson Valley of New York, for 5 days of doing different practices and learning different things.